Hello, greetings everyone. I think we had some technical hitches, but here I am. Today we are celebrating a very important day. And before I start, I'd like to let you know that this event is being live streamed to United States of Africa Facebook page and also on our YouTube channel. So basically trying to get this stream connected to both YouTube and also our Facebook page. It became a challenge, and as a result, I was unable to be here on time. But I'm glad that we are here, and we have some of members in the United States of Africa team. So let us start with the introduction. My name is Daniel Mombono, and I'm actually the one behind the United States of Africa project. And this initiative started in 2016 on our Facebook page, which had only 600 followers. And now you see it has more than 387,000 followers. It's not because we have so much resources that we pour to Facebook to promote this page, but it's because of the strong determination of the African people. They keep on sharing the posts, and they actually keep on supporting. Some of them have even enrolled on Patreon and are supporting United States of Africa. We have people who keep on sending us very motivating messages, and this is why we are here celebrating first year anniversary since we registered United States of Africa as a nonprofit organization in Texas, United States. And we are looking forward at setting up very strong structures that will be very instrumental in uniting Africa. And some of you will wonder why we chose United States as an area where we are conducting massive mobilization for people of African descent. It's because of the strategic nature of the United States. In terms of leading, it's leading in almost everything, and therefore we want to use it strategically to unify our people. We have more than I think more than 50 million people in the United States, if I'm not wrong, and this is quite it's the entire nation that is already in the United States. That is why we set up the United States of Africa in the US, because there's a lot of people of African descent there that are interested in coming back to Africa. As you can see, we already have one here. Please introduce yourself.
Well, greetings. I'm Andrew Williams Jr. I'm here in Los Angeles, California. But as you see, I am also representing the Igbo people in Ghana. And so I look forward to finding ways to work with you, Daniel. I'm also glad to see Ambassador Francis here. I am disabled, but I am in fact not an African because I was born in Africa, but because Africa was born in me. So I look forward to finding ways I can work and network with you.
Thank you very much for the brief introduction. Do you have anyone who wants to introduce yourself? Leah, you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, greetings everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. As Daniel said, my name is Leah. I am currently based out in St. Lucia, born in the United Kingdom. It's a pleasure to be here. My main interests are African history, but I'm also interested in uniting the Caribbeans and the people in the diaspora with Africa. So that's my main interest. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else who wants to introduce himself? I think there are more people here. We have Ambassador Francis Shishala. Please introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency, and good afternoon.
Greetings, Ambassador. You're welcome to United States of Africa.
Thank you. I am very much privileged to celebrate with all the Pan-Africanists all over the world our first anniversary as the United States of Africa, since we registered our organization in Texas, in Dallas, USA. So I the focus is just the same which my colleague, my big brother, Andrew Williams has said. Africa was born in us. So let us move as a Pan-African movement so that we unify all the people of African descent all over the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Shishala. We have one more person, Mohammed Tamim. Can you introduce yourself briefly? The next person, I think maybe he's not ready to introduce himself. So we're going to start with the United States of Africa and what we envisage. Our goal is to unify all people of African descent, to unify the African continent. And at present, you can see that Africa is being divided through many factors. Religion is one of the factors that is dividing Africa. But the first major factor is not even religion. It's the Berlin Conference walls that keep on holding Africans into shackles of slavery. Because you are told here to there is South Africa, from there to there it's Ghana, there to there it's Kenya. There are borders between Uganda and Rwanda. You're told you cannot move further. You need a permit from Zambia coming to Lesotho. You're told you're not a Lesothian. You're a Zambian. You need a permit. These are the things that we are fighting as United States of Africa, so that we can have one passport. Instead of having very small, weak militaries in Africa, we want to have one single military, the African Defense Forces, that will take care of the security challenges in Africa, and even unify the African militaries into one. Because when we are doing the same thing over and over again, it becomes madness. We have seen that working separately does not work for Africa. And even in the war against terrorism, it has demonstrated that it cannot be fought from a colonial borders perspective, because terrorists do not have borders. Another thing is that we Africans have a lot in common. Even though we are speaking more than 300,000 languages, you'll speak your own language and I'll be able to understand a few things or the others. And it shows that we have a common history, and our destiny, our history is intertwined. And if we don't come together and begin to build the infrastructures that will make us economically self-reliant, then Africa is going nowhere. And this is why we are holding this session, so that we can brainstorm, and we encourage our followers in the United States of Africa to send your suggestions. You can comment, you can share the stream, and get involved, share your ideas. Instead of saying, why don't we do this? We should be hearing more questions about what can I do to help the United States of Africa become a reality? Because for more than 100 years, people have been saying United States of Africa. Some have even created music that they're selling. But for this idea to come into a reality, we need to see Africans supporting the United States of Africa, and being the first to take actions to make this happen. In Ghana, you'll hear that people are talking about fixing Ghana. I'm going to fix my country. This fix Ghana movement has become, at some point, is becoming problematic to the government, such that recently some people even died during the Fix Ghana movement. And this is very worrying, that we need to change the mindset because we cannot be talking about asking people to fix something, yet we are not even taking responsibilities for the failures of our countries. For example, for Ghana's example, Ghanaians need to take responsibilities for their failure in their own economy. And instead of asking someone to fix your country, you should step up and say, I can do this. I can build new schools. I can build new roads. I have skills to do this and that. Then the government will be able now to provide the kind of assistance, enabling environment to make this happen. And there is no nation that can develop without the cooperation between the citizens and the government. So therefore, we need to have a completely change of mindset. Instead of bestowing all the responsibilities of African development to African states, we need to take ownership of the African development process, take ownership of the development of the African economy, and be able to point out what we can single-handedly do for Africa. And if we identify people who can do something for Africa, bring them into United States of Africa, these people collectively, they can do a lot for Africa. Ambassador Francis Shishala, do you have any ideas about how we can attain a unified Africa? Just recently, there were a lot of chaos in the Pan-African Parliament, and this caught your attention. If we cannot have a very strong Pan-African Parliament, what do you have any hopes that Africa will attain the United States of Africa?
Thank you, Your Excellency. Yes. The problem that I've seen in the Pan-African Parliament, starts with the leaders that we have in Africa. They are not, Africa is not led by Pan-Africanists, the people that love Africa at heart. When you love Africa, you cannot fail to love the Africans, regardless of nationality, wherever they are in the world. We have seen our leaders supporting non-Africans to establish investments in Africa at the disadvantage of our colleagues who live in the diaspora. So us as the United States of Africa or Global Pan-Africanism, we should take responsibility. We should take leadership at heart to drive the continent to the expectations of all the Africans, because the hope of all the Africans lies within ourselves, not in the African Union. African Union has lost it all. Now the only true hope for all the Africans all over the world is us, the United States of Africa, and we should invigorate this burning splint so that it becomes our way of life, not a talk show, but it should be a reality. In addition, what transpired in the Pan-African Parliament is very disastrous and very disappointing all over the world. Now, we as a Pan-African movement, we should take a lead now to participate. Japan has got a accreditation which is known all over the world. We cannot fail to appoint people to represent the Africans, to support the maxim which our leader in South Africa by the name of Julius Malema is the only Pan-Africanist who is standing to defend Africa alone. So we should we should rally behind him to support him so that we voice out together as a Pan-African movement all over the world. We cannot accept this division by the Francophone stroke Anglophone. Africa does not belong to Anglophone or does not belong to Francophone. Who, by the way, who are the Francophone? We don't have such in Africa. We are Africans, or what we know is Africa has no borders. We should exist as one Africa, one entity, as a unique force in the world. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, Ambassador, for the amazing submissions that you have made. Indeed, it's important for Pan-African movements and also Pan-African leaders to work together. Amazing efforts and struggles that have been demonstrated by EFF leader Julius Malema. Without him, actually, this rotation thing could have been taken somewhere else, and probably the elections could have been held. But the Pan-African Parliament needs to demonstrate leadership by embracing the Pan-African principles of rotational leadership. And it was really worrying and disturbing that they are fighting like children from school. Yet this is an institution that Africans have been banking their hopes to unify the African continent. And it appears that it's actually more problematic than what we are seeing in African communities. So there is need to have a Pan-African Parliament that that represents a Pan-African organization, represents the vision of Marcus Garvey of seeing a United States of Africa. And for that to happen, there's need for the African Union to change the system of having these members of parliament nominated to the Pan-African Parliament, because as it is now, it's just on state to state. If your state likes you, they are going to appoint you as the minister in the Pan-African Parliament. And probably you have to, you need to have some kind of allegiance to a political party in your country and to those ruling class in your country. So if you don't have such kind of connections, then it doesn't matter if you're a Pan-Africanist, you'll never be nominated to the Pan-African Parliament. But this needs to change because it's becoming even more important to have real Pan-Africanists that have the interests of Africa at heart to be there at the Pan-African Parliament to drive the change that Africa needs. Since it was created, the Pan-African Parliament has failed to deliver on its promises and has become a battleground between the so-called Francophone and the rest of Africa. But we have to change this, and if we don't like the way things are in the Pan-African Parliament, we have to raise our voices and also take action to change what we don't like in African societies, what we don't like in the African economy, how our nations are being run. If you don't like the way your president is running your country, then provide an alternative way how the country should be run, and be ready to voice your ideas without any fear or favor. As a Pan-African organization, the United States of Africa is not aligned to any political party in Africa. And therefore, if we are giving opinions on African issues, we are issuing independent opinions that are not intended to embrace or to impress anyone, but basically we are speaking the truth as it is. And as we see Africa is in a state of chaos. Recently, the SADC decided that they are going to deploy the standby force to confront the terrorism challenges in Mozambique. And this is something very positive. It needs to be encouraged. The African militaries need to work together to confront common security challenges. And if Mozambique is on fire, then very soon South Africa will be on fire. Zimbabwe will be on fire, Zambia will be on fire. And this is why it's important for Africans or for the African states to work together, confront the common challenges. The pandemic has demonstrated that Africa actually does not have any friends, and we are actually our best friends. Without us working together, we are not going to get further. And Africa will just remain in a state of chaos. I can see there's one person who has joined. We have Abuka Cook and also Joseph Kaumba. Do you want to introduce yourself or make any comment regarding the United States of Africa, the recent developments in Africa and in the diaspora?
Okay,
just go ahead.
I'll reserve my comments. I'm a university professor in Sacramento State University in Sacramento, California, United States, and I'm just chiming in, see what kind of information I can share with my students and friends and whoever else. So I'm very interested in what's going on.
All right, you're welcome. You can just introduce yourself, make any comment if you have, and if you want to just listen, you can just go ahead and listen as this meeting goes on. Joseph, do you want to say something? I can see Joseph Kaumba. Leah, do you want to say something regarding the United States of Africa, the state of Africa, and what we can do to unify the African people and also unify the African continent? Jerusalem, you're welcome. You can introduce yourself and tell us what you feel, because I know you are from Ethiopia, the nation which was never colonized. And today we are celebrating the first year United States of Africa anniversary since we registered as a nonprofit in Texas.
Awesome. I'm excited to be here with you guys. It's always a pleasure to be along with my brothers and sisters. So yes, I'm from Ethiopia. I'm a very proud Ethiopian. So I'm very excited, and I hope, we can continue to build this sisterhood and brotherhood, and hopefully make some impacts for the motherland. So I'm excited here, and I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say.
Thank you very much, Jerusalem, for being here. As you know, that Ethiopia is among the few countries that are not colonized, and actually the only one, because Liberia, we are told that it's actually one of the countries that were not colonized, but it was under completely different circumstances that cannot be compared with Ethiopia, which battled the Italian invading forces and actually defeated them in the Battle of Adwa. And as a result, you can see the mindset of the Ethiopian people is completely different from the rest of Africa. But for other Africans that have endured the colonization and slavery, there is need for us to change our mindset and to stop perceiving ourselves as inferior, because Africans are just like any other race, and we are capable of transforming our continent if we change our mindset, begin to work together, reject the tribal divisions, religious divisions that have continued to tear Africans apart. And this is why the United States of Africa is here, so that we can unify people of African descent, whether they are in Africa, in the Caribbean, in the Pacific, in Europe, in the United States. And one of the campaigns that we've been running is the Africa for West Papua campaign, which seeks to end the genocide in West Papua. As you know, Indonesia invaded West Papua since 1963, and they have continued to undermine the human rights of the indigenous people. More than 500,000 indigenous people have died. And at the moment, Indonesia branded West Papuan freedom fighters as terrorists, and they are actually killing
East African countries.
they're actually killing.
If you could mute Mohammed.
I've muted everyone. So what I'm saying is that we've been involved in human rights campaign like the Africa for West Papua campaign, and at the moment Indonesia has been burning houses of indigenous people in West Papua. They have been killing innocent civilians, children, women, raping women. And they've been doing this in the full glare of the international organization like the United Nations, the International Criminal Court. More than 58 years, they're yet to see a genocide in West Papua because it's people of African descent that are suffering. United States of Africa also initiated Black Mental Health Matters, which seeks to eradicate stigma among Black communities, encourage open conversations when it comes to mental health in Black communities. You know that people of African descent are less likely to disclose their mental health status or their mental health struggles. And we run a show every Saturday that focuses on raising awareness on mental health. And we are also bringing together Black mental health professionals from all over the world so that they can work together. In the coming year, we envisage Black Mental Health Matters that will have a research center, and we'll have outreach programs so that we can reach out to African communities and also in the diaspora. Because mental health, even during this pandemic, is something that that needs our attention. And there's a lot of disparities when it comes to mental health. When it comes to health, Black people don't have access to a therapist. They don't have access to mental health care services. And this is what Black Mental Health Matters is trying to fix. So the approach of United States of Africa is based on creating solutions. Ambassador Shishala, you can go ahead. I can see your hand is up. If you want to speak, just raise your hand. I'll be able to see that and then give you a floor. Just go ahead, Ambassador Francis Shishala.
Thank you, Your Excellence. I just wanted to have two issues here to add to the panelists so that we table these together. Number one, I wanted to find out why the African Union does not want the civil society organizations to participate in the things of that concern the Africans, be it in Africa or in the diaspora. I say this because I saw the composition of the Pan-African Parliament, which has excluded those from the diaspora. They had no representation. But when we look at the African Union, they say the website, it talks about the diaspora being part of Africa. But when it comes to the formulation of the composition of the African Union, Pan-African Parliament, those people, they are not included in the work structure of the African continent. So we don't know why is it so. Number two, I want also to find out from us as the United States of Africa, why have we allowed the African Union to be so very to have so absolute power? They can do anything. They can they can allow the former colonizers to come here to steal the resources of Africa, whilst we are looking on. We don't know why we don't want to participate. If at all we can participate, the African Union should be inclusive, because Africa is not owned by those who are just the ruling elitists. Africa is for all the Africans, be it those that are in the churches, the civilians. Everyone should play a key role in the liberation of the continent and its own people. But if at all we leave it to the African Union, they are talking about the Agenda 2063, which I have failed to understand. If at all those people who are championing the same agenda, they will be still living. Why can't we take part to make sure that we fast track these things that cannot be achieved after 63 years? But if at all we look at the time we got independence, it is more than 60 years. But what have we achieved? What have they achieved? The answer is nothing. Now, if at all we can allow them to continue with their 60 years again, to add to the already 60 years, we have 120 years. All of us will be dead by then. Now, who will be there as a Pan-African to liberate the continent? Which means, according to me, that is a conspiracy theory to sell Africa to the colonizers. After another 60 years, these people, they will come again to claim, because they have borrowed a lot of money from them, which no one will be able to pay. Thank you very much.
Exactly. Actually, I see it as just a strategy to buy time. But if you look at already accomplished goals, you don't see any goal that has been accomplished. There's the silencing of guns. It did not happen in 2020. And we are still seeing heavy battles in 2021. There's so many goals that have been set by the African Union, but actually there's no action which is being taken to achieve these goals. And for us to be able to achieve these goals, we need to begin swinging into action. Instead of waiting for things to happen in the next 60 years, we need to start identifying what we can do now to improve our conditions and also to improve our situation, because Africa has been waiting for foreigners to come and provide solutions for too long, but we are not seeing these solutions coming. When foreigners come to Africa, they come for their own interests. And for us to begin to see the Africa that we want, we need to begin taking responsibilities for the social, economic, cultural, and political development of Africa. Jerusalem, you can go ahead. You have something to say?
Yes, I just wanted to add, is there something we can do? Maybe we can draft a letter, and try to submit that letter to, the African Union, asking those things. Could we be, part of some of these conversations? Could we be given the platform to be able to do some work in collaboration with them? And I think we have to keep in mind, when it comes to Africa, the imperialists systemically destabilize the wealthiest countries in Africa. And that's a continuous and ongoing thing. Whenever African countries are on the rise, there comes something to destabilize it. And oftentimes it's systemically done. So we won't move forward. We won't get those developments, and we won't empower our people to seek justice and to use their resources. And so I think that personally, I feel like as Africans, despite some of the things we might not agree on, we have to work together, and that's the only way out. and we have to stand for each other, right? And say, you know, this is the line, this is the red line, and we're going to stand together no matter what, and we're going to solve our problems and our issues in the house. But in order to do
Exactly.
that, I think we have to find ways to work even with, you know, with some of the people that may not wholeheartedly be supporting the you know, the United States of Africa vision, right? And so I think maybe, and I don't know how much work you guys have done so far, but maybe trying to submit a letter, you know, from the diaspora and saying, hey, you know, this is our vision, and we want to be part of the development of Africa and the growth of Africa, and we want a stronger and better Africa for our root and for our motherland. And this is what we're asking, and maybe submitting that, you know, as a collective and together, and see if they could come up with, you know, some sort of opportunity for us to be part of some of the conversation, and to be part of some of the development, or just the, you know, the advocacy for our motherland. I think that would be a good approach. And I don't know if you guys have already tried that, but maybe we should give that a try.
Actually, we tried. We've tried to collaborate with the African Union, sending them letters that actually they're not cooperative at all. And the last time I got in touch with a spokesperson to the AU chairperson, she actually blocked me on WhatsApp. So we probably have to try another means, maybe writing a letter and our demands, and delivering it by hand to make sure that it has been received at the African Union headquarters. And then from there we can see what else we can do. But there's a need for us to pressure the African Union to realize the importance of working together with all Pan-African organizations, and to working with the African diaspora, because they are part of Africa, and they deserve equal representation, and even in the Pan-African Parliament. This has not been happening, and we need to find ways to make it happen. Do you have any? I can see your hands are still up. Do you have anything to add on?
No, I will go ahead and lower my hand. Thank you.
All right. So we can try that and see how far it's going to take us. But now we have gotten to a point that we have to rely on the resilience of the African people to be able to step up for Africa. It doesn't matter whether which direction your country is going. What is clear that without Africans coming together, we're not going to have anything fixed. Andrew, I can see you're commenting a lot. Do you have anything to say?
Not at this point. I'll reserve my commentary until later. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So we need to inculcate that mindset of having Africans see that they are actually the ones to solve their own problems. And the more we get more Africans that have this kind of mindset, we are going to see Africa begin to develop, and we'll see also more Africans taking full ownership of the problems that exist in Africa, realizing that the imperialists usually use the divide and rule, divide and conquer, and this has proven successful, is still successful now. So we need to identify we need to identify the paths that the imperialists are using to virtually continue the exploitation of Africa at our expense, and realize that we need to unite so that we can build Africa. It doesn't matter whether you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, or you're not religious. This is not about religion. It's about African unity. It's about our common interests as people of African descent, the need for us to come together and begin to improve our conditions by identifying specific projects that we can accomplish. that will uplift our communities, either in Africa, in the United States, in Europe, in the Caribbean, in the Pacific. People of African descent have common challenges. When it comes to the financial status, is almost the same. The difference is that we are in different economies, and but the economic conditions are really deplorable. Something that we need to work together to change. And this is why United States of Africa is here to encourage Africans that indeed we can come together. And as Marcus Garvey said, that when we come together, we actually can accomplish great things. We need to follow in his footsteps and embrace this new culture of self-reliance, this culture of believe in our potential, believe in ourselves. The moment we begin believing in our potential, believing in the power of being an African, then we are going to begin seeing the kind of change that we want to see in Africa. Instead of spending days shouting, fix my country, fix my country, we should be seeing less kind of rhetoric and more action, identifying specific problems that we want to fix, and taking responsibilities. If it's our educational system, coming up with a team that will work on fixing that educational system. If it's healthcare, identifying the specific problems that we can fix and ensure equal access to healthcare services for our people. And when it comes to security, identifying the cause of these insecurities that we are witnessing in Africa, and setting up a team that will fix that problem. With this kind of mindset, we are going to get as many things fixed as possible. And that will translate into more developed Africans and more happy Africans, more prosperous Africans. And this is the ultimate goal of the United States of Africa. On 27th of June, we launched the first ever headball matches, and they were played in Gambia. We are fully supporting headball. United States of Africa is the first organization to support headball, and we've done this in cooperation with Global Pan-Africanism Network, which is also one of the organizations that came out of United States of Africa. Since I started in 2016, we now have 3 organizations that have come out of what I started in 2016. We have United States of Africa, we have Global Pan-Africanism Network, we have Black Mental Health Matters, and this itself demonstrates that United States of Africa is full of potential, and we are capable of creating our own realities, redefining the narrative of Africa by encouraging Africans to embrace who they are, embrace the African identity. It's very important for us to be to reconnect with our roots, study African indigenous languages, study African history. And the moment you get connected to your indigenous languages, to your true history, then you realize the potential that being an African can hold, and you actually are able to reach your full potential by discovering or uncovering who you are. We know that slavery did a lot of damage to people of African descent, and now United States of Africa is reuniting the African diaspora with the African continent, with the people of African descent all over the world, so that we can share experiences and we can be able to work together to advance our cause as people of African descent, and be able to tackle the problems that people are facing, either in the United States, in Europe. There's been a lot of systematic racial discrimination, And this institutional racism transcends to all sectors, to all sectors of life, to the healthcare, to the when it comes to the racial to the justice system, to politics, to the media, to our societies, to our culture, and almost everything that is our own. They want to take it away. They want even to take away the African names. Many Swahili names have actually been taken away, and this is an ongoing battle against Africa. When you want you want to buy a Swahili domain, you'll see that it's not available, and those who are holding these domains are actually not Africans, many of them. So it's an ongoing battle in all fronts. Therefore, we need to fight this battle at all fronts. And United States of Africa is willing to work with anyone. We don't have to agree on everything to be able to work together. What we need to agree on is the need for Africans to take leadership in resolving their own problems. The need for Africans to work together to secure their future. And I can see we have Leah. Do you want to say something? Just go ahead.
Thank you. You've touched on one of the points already, and it was about divide and conquer. And I think that's one of the key things that is an issue for us as a people, in that the people that have divided us still have us almost like puppets. They're still holding the main purse strings, which is stopping us from doing for ourselves. If I can speak for the Caribbean in particular, in terms of independence, we say we're independent, we celebrate Independence Day, yet even on our money, for example, it still has the Queen's head. There's so many things, if we, the court system, the highest court is still, the Supreme Court in Europe or in the United Kingdom. So, we're not independent, and so we still can't do for ourselves, even if we wanted to. The powers that be still have those ultimate levels of control in the most important areas. And I think that's the same for, for Africa, in that, and for the African Union. I don't know whether it's fully an African Union, if you know what I mean. There's other powers that be that have levels of control still in there, which stops them from perhaps doing what they should be doing and operating as they should operate, which is probably why, when you try to make contact with them, we're shut down, because they don't want anything to change, because it's not them necessarily controlling it as it should be controlled. So those are the points that I wanted to make.
Thank you very much. Indeed, Africa is still experiencing neocolonialism, and this is something that we need to work together to address, because without fully decolonizing Africa, we are still going to see a very weak Africa that will perpetually be dependent on its former colonizers for almost everything. In the Caribbean, many Caribbean states, the Queen is actually the head of state, and she still have the powers of the Imperial British. And recently, I saw that Barbados had decided to get rid of Queen Elizabeth as the head of state. But we are yet to see that happen, and we are yet to see that happen in many other Caribbean states. These need to completely detach ourselves from our former colonizers. And this is the only way that we can be self-reliant, and we can begin to develop the Africa that we want, and the Africa that we want to see. Ambassador Shala, do you have anything to say?
Yes, yes, Your Excellency, I have.
Just go ahead as I fix my device.
Yes, yes, I can see that our CEO is representing your image.
Just go ahead and
Yeah,
as
yeah.
I fix my device, you can go ahead and make a comment.
Thank you, thank you. Sir.
All right.
I want to make a submission on the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. Before I go to that, I want to second what our sister Jerusalem from Ethiopia has stated. I second that one. And for us to write a letter to the African Union, we need all the chapters, both from Africa and in the Caribbean. We need to sign to show willingness and commitment to work with the African Union, so that you, as our global president, you can take the letter full of our support from both the Caribbean and us in Africa. We should sign showing our commitment. If at all they will reject that one, then that's when we are going to devise a new way. I really salute you, sir.
I agree with you on that one. We are going to draft a letter and then submit it to them. And I believe that if they receive that letter, they'll see how serious we are towards seeing a unified Africa and seeing an Africa that is in control of its natural resources. If you read that the African Union Charter, they have so many things. Even the Agenda 2063 is full of very good ideas, but actually, when it comes to implementation, you don't see that happening. And the same people are actually moving to the opposite direction.
Yeah.
They're the same people that are embracing their former colonizers, their former colonizer as a savior. You've been seeing a lot of moves between the African Union and France. And this has a very negative implication for Africa, something that we need to put to an end. But for this to come to an end, the African Union has to upgrade to the level of our understanding so that we see an African Union that not only responds to African issues, but actually responds to issues that affect people of African descent. The last time we saw the African Union comment on what was happening was during the time of the killing of George Floyd. But since they made that statement, I haven't had them issue any statement after the unjust ruling that was made, sentencing that murderer to 22 years and a half in prison. Yet Black people who are caught with marijuana actually are serving life sentences. So we don't see any form of justice for George Floyd. And we are still calling for justice for George Floyd so that it can send a message that the United States realizes that the importance of equal justice for all, regardless the color of the skin, their history, where they came from, it doesn't matter. As long as they are American citizens, they deserve equal justice. We are seeing the battle against Africans in many fronts, against the African Americans, against Black people in America. The police brutality does not appear to stop. And this is something that we need to raise our voices. The African Union needs to be very proactive in fighting for the rights of people of African descent in the US who are undergoing institutional racism. And basically they can't breathe. Even after the end of slavery, the prisons The prison walls are holding more than 500,000 Black men. And this, you can try to analyze and see the implications of having more than 500,000 black men. Many of them are actually imprisoned for just for petty offenses. Some are innocent. Thousands of them are actually innocent because of the unjust with a justice system like the U.S. And this is something that needs to change. For this to change, we need to see more Black leaders speak against it. We need to see the African Union that is very vocal to the human rights violations against people of African descent wherever they are. Ambassador Shala, you can go ahead.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I think, Your Excellency, you should take cognizance that Japan has now grown very big, and the United States as the umbrella organization is also big. So we want to give it all the teeth it deserves by signing with you, sir, so that they see that you are not alone in this. When they see you signing alone, they say maybe you are just alone. We want to sign somewhere. You sign as a president, but you sign as the supporters of the vision to liberate our people all over the world, from the Caribbean, from the Pacific, and from Africa. We are ready to support you, sir. We will sign with you so that they see seriousness in this thing. Number two, I want to find out why the African Union allows the former colonizers to attend AU summits, because according to me, it does not make sense. Those what do they look for? Which means these people, if at all they get money from them, that is the ladder they use to attend such summits. But if at all you look at them, do they attend the European Union summit? The answer is no.
Yeah, exactly. They actually are not invited to European Union summits in the European Parliament. So it's quite odd to see non-Africans in the Pan-African Parliament, to see them in the African Union. If this measure was reciprocated, then it will make sense. So these are the questions that the African Union is not here to answer, but wherever they are, they're actually watching this broadcast, and they might be able to respond to some of your questions. And we are going to sign this letter, draft it, and then sign it, all of us, and then forward it to the African Union so that it can recognize the United States of Africa, because it's not just a Facebook page, it's an organization that has a lot of support both in Africa and the African diaspora. And the African Union should actually be the first organization to recognize the United States of Africa. And then from there, we can begin working to see all these visions that have been drafted, and they are in PDF. It's called the African Union stores. We ask the African Union to bring out these visions that have been drafted by some of the brilliant minds we have in Africa, but they're not being implemented. They bring out all these visions. These are so-called agendas 2063. Even if they have agenda 2000, let them bring it out. And then we now draft it into the implementation stage, begin implementing it year by year. Identify what we can do this year, what we can do in the next 5 years, and what we can do in the next 10 years, so that as every year ends, we'll have a debriefing session where we are going to we are going to identify, highlight our achievements, what we did wrong, what we did right, what we achieved, and then set goals for the next year. By doing this, then I believe that Africa will begin to see radical progress. And I'm very confident that Africa will come together. As we are coming to the end of this live session, I'd like to thank viewers, to thank our members and those who took part in this virtual celebration of 1 year anniversary of the United States of Africa. The vision that was started by Marcus Garvey's poem in 1924, Hail United States of Africa. And here we are an organization, we are a movement seeking to unify people of African descent all over the world. And you can reach out to us via WhatsApp button on the United States of Africa page. You can also send us an email at info@usafricagov.com. You can also visit our website and send us any ideas that you may have. For those who have joined, this session, if you want to be added to a WhatsApp platform, I've typed my number so that you can contact me and you'll be able to be added to a WhatsApp platform. And then we are going to set up a committee that will work on the draft letter so that we can submit this letter to the African Union, and we can see the way forward. Andrew, you have raised your hand. You can go ahead if you have any final comment to make.
Yes, thank you so much. Congratulations on your 1 year anniversary. However, on this Zoom, there are 8 people. I know that in the Facebook group, there are 375,000. So what I'm recommending that we do, Daniel, is take the power that you already have. You've taken the step to registering here in the United States. It is the last superpower. You, as a member of the Africa diaspora, have power because you're here in the United States to use all these tools and resources to help you accomplish your objective. The Constitutive Act of the African Union does not allow it to ever become the United States of Africa. Each one of the constitutions must hold fast the same arbitrary barriers that were put into place as a result of the 1884 and 1885 Berlin Conference. Even after accomplishing independence, those independent states in Africa are still committed to that colonialist outline. So I would urge each of us around the world, no matter where we are, is to take up the tools and resources at hand in the city where we are, in the state where we are, in the country where we are, and use all those tools and resources to build a unified worldwide African family built on the foundation that you've already begun, Daniel. So congratulations on bringing us to this point.
Thank you very much, Brother Andrew. You've made very important submissions, and we are going to work. We're going to work on that. We also have a Facebook group named United States of Africa Official, and you can join and be part of the conversation. And also, you can also let us know what specifically you can do, because we are developing a curriculum that will be available to our members so that they can learn. It will include African history. It's going to include African indigenous languages, so that the Africans in the diaspora can have the opportunity to reconnect with who they were before the enslavement. Because as you know, many lost their indigenous languages. They don't know which tribe they came from. But now with the science and technology, they're actually identifying. like Brother Andrew identified that he's from Igbo community, and many others are doing DNA tests. They're identifying and realizing they're actually coming from more than 5 different countries in Africa. So that actually makes the Berlin Conference completely irrelevant because it's not even realistic. Because wherever you are, you could be in Kenya, you could be in Jamaica, but actually you have descendants in Ghana, you have descendants in Nigeria, you have some descendants in Ivory Coast, and you don't know until you do a DNA test and you realize actually you're not even 100% Kenyan, you are probably 10% Kenyan, 20% Nigerian, and 40% Ghanaian. So this is why we need to come together and realize that Africa is a one nation, and we need to break these Berlin Conference boundaries that were created by men in Europe when they decided that they're going to split Africa among themselves into so many microstates that completely crippled the Africa's journey towards economic development because they are just too small and unsustainable. This is why we are asking them to come together so that we can begin to develop Africa as a united front, and we can reach our full potential. A unified Africa is an invincible Africa, is an Africa that will not rely on foreign donations or foreign aid. Africa is full of natural resources. We have the most brilliant brains are actually in Africa. When you see the latest development, there's an African hand behind that innovation. But the one who appears to claim this credit is the white man who hired that black man to make that innovation. This is something that we need to change, and for us to bring this kind of change, we need to see Africans embrace the Pan-Africanism spirit, be willing to lay down your resources, whichever resources that you have, for the advancement of the interests of the African people and for the development of Africa as a whole. Once again, thank you everyone who joined this session. And do you have any final thing to say?
Well, yes, actually, I've been very quiet throughout the entire presentation. So I appreciate you giving me at least 3 minutes to say something. In the first place, you've already won. You're here in the United States again. For example, it was Kofi Annan, who was a traditional chief, who in the role of the United Nations General Secretary in 2000, launched what was then called the Millennium Development Goals. Of course, now we're in what they call the Sustainable Development Goals. It was the continent of Africa when they were getting ready to formulate the African Union Agenda 2063 that contributed most to what we now have.
And about these sustainable, the UN Sustainable Development Goals, are they sustainable when we translate them to the African realities?
It's just the opposite. The majority of the Sustainable Development Goals come from the common African position that the African Union submitted as their guideline to what has become the Agenda 2063. But I don't want to diverge from my point. There is an infrastructure that was launched at the same time as the Millennium Development Goals by Kofi Annan. It was called the United Nations Global Compact. What he found from his lived experience was that major businesses, particularly those from Europe and the United States, were causing damage to the local communities there throughout Africa. He called upon 44 of those corporations at the Davos World Economic Forum to make what they call a corporate social responsibility commitment to address human rights, labor, and environment. But as you know, there are billions of dollars being spent every year on aid, but even more money that's coming in through remittances. All that money is dwarfed by the illicit funds that are flowing out of Africa. So the last part of that was anti-corruption and transparency. I'm suggesting to you, Daniel, that you're here in the United States. That organization grew from 44 corporations to now over 15,000 right now. But they only have about 3,000 non-business participants for civil society, like yours, non-governmental organizations, educational institutions, cities. So I'm recommending that we actually step up as members of the United States of Africa worldwide, all our organizations, we join this existing infrastructure. So by numbers, we then lead what the decisions are being made at the top levels of the world's, quote, governing powers. Every year they meet at Davos, the World Economic Forum. That's where the United Nations Global Compact was founded. Here in the United States, there are only 700 members of the Global Compact. We could easily bring 700 members of our network through the United States of Africa to not just take a seat at the table, but keep from being off the menu. In Ghana, which is the Secretariat of the African Continental Free Trade Area, there are only 77 organizations. We could easily step in there, and if we just double that number, we could then have this narrative on a world stage instead of having it on a Zoom platform. But I look forward to finding ways I can work and work with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the submissions. These are great ideas, but you know, the United States of Africa actually is designed to create its own realities for the African people. At the same time, we are promoting the cooperation between existing organizations, but there are actually some organizations that have continued to exploit Africa, and we cannot integrate with such kind of organizations that have actually been profiting from African miseries. They'll wait for hunger to befall Africans, and then they come and take the worst pictures, and then you'll see those pictures in their websites asking people to donate to save Africa. These organizations have actually not played any role in alleviating poverty in Africa, but actually are using African poverty to secure funding for their own organizations, and they're actually using the worst case scenarios to define African realities, which is actually not the African reality. Mohammed, I'm going to give you 1 minute before we wind up so that you can make a comment. You know, you came in late, that if you want to make a comment, just go ahead.
Hello, hello, good evening, everyone. I just came in, so I don't know what is the actual topic of discussion. I wanted to join CIS, but I got some issues, but you can continue. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for joining. Today we are celebrating the first year anniversary for United States of Africa, and we have discussed a lot since we started. The broadcast is available on United States of Africa Facebook page, and it's also available on a YouTube channel if you want to watch the replay. But we encourage Africans around the world to come together, support the United States of Africa, and be part of this bigger vision. We are willing to work with other Pan-African organizations, to work with anyone who has the interest of Africa at heart, for us to be able to create the Africa that we want. We have to take the step forward towards embracing the problem-solving approach, and let us have less rhetoric, but more action, more work on the ground, so that the United States of Africa can become a reality in every African household. We need to see the United States of Africa begin to change lives, begin to carry out infrastructure projects. And this coming year, we'll be working on setting up the structures, ensuring that we secure the much needed support that United States of Africa needs. We know that we have more than 387,000 followers, but there's much more that people can do to support United States of Africa. You can be part of the education committee. and be part of the drafting of the causes that we are creating for members to be able to take. You can also become a supporter on United States of Africa page. Enrolling as a supporter, you're directly supporting the United States of Africa mission. You can also enroll on Patreon, support United States of Africa. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone who joined this session, and have a great day or a good night, depending on your time zone. Thank you very much, and may our ancestors bless you.